Hey, what's up guys? Travis Fulton here and welcome to Online Gainz. Each week, I'm gonna be sharing with you real insight on how I'm developing players all across the world on full swing, short game, and putting. Be sure to tune in. All right, hey man, thanks for the videos. And yes, let's talk about the setting of the wrists and how that works in conjunction with the swing shape. The biggest thing here is when you take the club back and you hinge it right there, that club shaft is too horizontal, okay? So the angle of that shaft is pointing too far out there like that. And when it gets too horizontal, I'm gonna leave that line there, when you come down, then it wants to get steep in transition, right? So look at the club there. So the club coming down is steeper than it went back. And we want to reverse that, okay? One of the things that happens is when you take it back kind of flat and you have no problem turning, it can get pretty long here at the top. And the length of the backswing really isn't, I would say, isn't really the primary concern. It's more about kind of the way you're using the swing plane, right? Like taking it back too horizontal and then from there having to steepen it in transition. So what I want to show you is I'm going to demonstrate a couple different things for you in a video here today. One is I'm going to set this club, or I'm going to set this device, and it's going to be kind of back here behind the target line. And you'll see this little disc that I'm going to have right here. And then I'll have this club, or I'll have this alignment stick coming out of it on the same angle as the shaft. And what you're going to do is you're going to feel like you're going to take it more on the top side of that stick. So the club is going to feel like it's more out here. And as it goes on the top side of the stick, then the club shaft will feel more vertical here, okay? And as it feels more vertical there, then you'll feel like it'll shallow out and it'll work back down on the bottom side of this alignment stick. So it's going to feel like it goes on the top side, more vertical, going back, and then it's going to feel like it shallows out, like it'll feel like it's more back here coming down and work back down underneath the alignment stick. And that's the most important thing, okay? So I'm going to show you a really good drill with that, and then I'm going to show you two really good drills with that. Both will be with an alignment stick, and it's going to feel opposite of what you've been doing. It's going to feel probably a little like Matthew Wolf, and so I'll show you that. So let's go to the other view next. All right, so this view, I really think this view demonstrates the strengths of your swing, which really, when you take it back, like you have a great turn. Like you turn your shoulders well, your lower body supports, you have a weight shift. Like that's a good move right there. You stay behind it, you rotate through. Like you have a lot of really good things from face on. So your body is very much, I think, ready to support what I'm going to show you with the club shaft. I think the only thing that we need to be conscious of is the club face angle as I show you this new swing shape. And in saying that, if I zoom in on the grip, I wouldn't mind your right hand being just a touch more underneath. I feel like your left hand, like the V is probably about right there, and then your right hand's really on top. And so I would just bring that right hand a touch more under and feel like that right hand V is like, you know, just a touch more right shoulder. So I think the grip may feel just a shade stronger to the right. You might even move your left hand just a bit too. I just want to make sure that as I show you this swing shape, and when that shaft shallows out, that club face is not open. And sometimes when you reverse this swing shape, we need that grip to be a touch stronger. So I just want you to be conscious of that. If you find yourself going through these drills and hitting balls and the ball's just kind of hanging right, then I would just go a shade stronger in the grip. But I think from this view, you've got a lot of good things. So to answer your question specifically, the hinge of the wrists, I'll be more specific with that with the couple drills that I show you today. The club head, you know, as far as inside, I would say it's, you know, it's still a little inside, but I think we need to take this a step further and talk more about the pitch of the shaft. And I'm going to give you a couple drills here, a couple really good drills here today that I think are going to make a big difference. And I just want you to manage this grip as you go through it. So give me till this afternoon. I'm gonna shoot a good video for you and exactly what I want you to do. All right, so let's talk about the swing shape here. This swing shape is going to help you tremendously. This is a pattern that I see a fair amount in person and online lessons. So what I've done is I've taken my little disc there, I've put the alignment stick in there, got a little pool noodle on it, and I've got it just kind of mirroring roughly the same angle as this iron here, thereabouts, okay? Now, I'm just gonna use this as a visual to where I wanna feel like the club head kind of gets back and it starts back on the top side of that, all right? So I can sense the club head's working up and on the top side of that noodle. And then from there, I make my turn so it goes around me, and then I want to bring it back down what feels like a little bit on the bottom side. So it kind of goes up on the top side with a turn, and then it falls back down on the bottom side, and then once again, I would turn and hit it. Now, what we saw on video was that the club was traveling back in here, so it was getting a little inside and then horizontal, or too horizontal. And so from there on the way down, it wanted to steepen. And when it wants to steepen, then it wants to get on the top side. Okay, so it kind of goes in flat, then it steepens and gets on the top side like that. All right, so we want to get it top side with a turn, and then let it shallow back down to the bottom side, and then you turn and hit it. Now, you made reference to kind of what your hands are doing, right? I would get your hands hinging probably a little bit sooner. Again, the club head traveling kind of in here, right? Your hands really don't probably fully set the club. So I would feel like the club head is working, you know, a little bit more up sooner. You can feel your left wrist kind of hinging the club vertically, okay, like this. If I do that here with the turn, you can see that's going to get the club head on the top side. So it's okay to feel that. When you add the right hand is going to bend back, okay? So the left wrist is kind of going vertically, and then when you add the right hand, it feels like it bends back into extension this way, okay? So some vertical and then bending the right hand back will give you the sense of a more pronounced wrist hinge. I would get it going early, right here, early, because the later you are, the more it's probably gonna wanna go in there. I'd get it going early, and then when that left arm gets to parallel, you should feel like it's about a 90-degree angle, okay? So the wrist hinge can be more pronounced. But I think with that, the club head is working up, not in, up, then turn, so it goes around, and then from there, it can pitch back, okay, where it's back underneath, And then once again, you would just turn and hit it. So that's the swing shape that I really like. Now, a good drill for this is to take another alignment stick, and I'm going to move this now. And you take another alignment stick and you run it down the side, okay, like this. So now it's down the side, and I grip it, and then I want to start that extra alignment stick off my right hip, so it's on my right hip. Now when I turn, I'm going to get the feeling that this is going to stay on my hip. And when it stays on my hip, you're going to see the club head out in front of me. It's going to work up, out in front of me, and then when I turn and hinge it, right, now it kind of slings back out in front of me so I can get it back out in front coming down. But you can see how that club head really did a bit of like a Matthew Wolf type of visual, right, where it was, the club head was out there, it felt like this, and then as I turned, it then shallowed back the other way. Now I'm exaggerating, but you were too much the other way, where I would start it off my left hip and then go there, right? And then coming down, it would want to go there, okay? So I like this as an exaggeration, right hip, okay? You can use the alignment stick there, but I think you're getting the idea of how the wrists need to work and then how we're changing the shape of the swing. This should help you a lot.